When multiple people are working on a presentation, it can be hard to know which version is floating out there, or what changes were approved, or even which version is the one you're actually supposed to be presenting with. Well, all changes are tracked on the Review ribbon tab, and you can even mark the version as final that you want to use. So to start the review process, let's suppose you have this presentation and you want to send it out to somebody else. Let them make changes and then find out an easy way to see what they've actually done. Well, we can do that. The first step is to take our file and to save it as something else, just to keep a safe copy. So I'm going to go to File, Save As. We can save it anywhere I want. I'll save it on my computer and I'll browse to my desktop. I'll call it my copy and hit Save. And now I've got a nice safe backup. I can take that copy and email it to somebody else for review. You can say whatever you want, make any changes, go over it, what you think. You can put comments in, now that we know how to. And let's say that they've gone through it, made their changes and sent it back. And now I've detached it from my email, I've got it on my desktop, and I'm looking to find an easy way that I can see what they've done. Well, I can. I'm going to go to the Review tab while I've got my copy open. Now I'm going to select Compare. This is going to let me compare changes with another presentation against the one I have opened. So on my desktop I can see version 2. Now this is a version that the person has gone over, made their changes and sent back to me. I'm going to select it and hit Merge, so it's merging the presentations. But don't worry, I still have complete control over accepting or rejecting any of these changes. So the first thing I need to do is actually find out what they've done. So here on the bottom right I can see all the presentation changes. There was an insertion after a certain slide. They've also changed this slide, and let's see what they've done. So I'm going to hit Next on the Review tab, and I can see that in here there was a slide that was inserted. Now I can place a check mark beside this change and it'll get approved. I'm going to hit Next to see what else there was. It looks like there was a theme change, and it's telling me that if I accept this change it will also affect the following slides. Now these are the slide numbers that use that change. I can go through, see what it is, and if I like it I can either place a check mark here again, or I can also do the same thing by coming up here to the Accept button. I can either accept the change or I can just blindly accept all changes to the presentation. I'm only going to accept this one because I don't know what else was actually changed. Now if I didn't like the change I could either not do anything or outright reject it. In this case I'm going to go ahead and accept it. So now I can select Next. As I can see in the bottom right, I'm placing check marks beside all the things that I'm approving. Clicking Next will take me to the last change. Now I can see that there was a slide inserted here. That's the one that I'd already approved, and I'm going to click Next. Here's another change. So I'm just going to choose not to do anything to that slide. Now when I'm all done, I can select End Review, and it's going to ask me if I want to end the review, because any unapplied changes, meaning anything that I haven't approved yet, will be thrown away. I'm going to go ahead and say yes. Now keep in mind, if I ever do need these changes back, all I have to do is go to Compare again and pull up that other copy. Now I've merged these changes in, and now it's up to me to save my file as something different, such as my copy version 2, or send it back out again for approval. Now when I'm all done, when there's a final version and multiple people are going to be using this, and I need to make sure that everybody's using the right copy, I can mark this one as the final version. So people will know it's the one that's supposed to be used. Now it's going to lock it for editing, and it will turn it into a read-only PowerPoint file. But something to keep in mind, it's not a true security feature. It can be unlocked. This is more of a convenience feature, so everybody knows which file they're supposed to be using. So I'm going to hit the File button to go backstage. In the Info tab I'm going to choose Protect Presentation, and now I'm going to mark it as final. So it's going to tell me that this presentation will be marked as final and then saved. I can hit OK and it's marked as final. So any typing commands, proofing marks are turned off, and also in the status bar I'm going to get a new icon. I'll click OK, and here's my marked as final. Now here's why it's not a true security feature. I can still edit anyway. However, right now it's currently locked. Down here in the status bar, here's my marked as final icon, so I can know. So now I'll always know that I'm using the final version of a presentation, and I won't have to worry if I'm missing any information anymore.